Well, healthcare costs are on the rise, but it's unlikely your primary care physician is enjoying a windfall. Insurers and the government use a payment system based on relative value units. It often favors specialists like cardiologists and brain surgeons while squeezing out doctors who provide more general care. Anita Vogel is joining us live now from Los Angeles. Anita, nice to see you. How does the current system for paying doctors work?
Well, hi there, Uma. It's like you said, relative value units, RVUs for short. This is part of a formula developed by a Harvard economist more than 20 years ago. Basically, it's a point system. The more training a doctor has, the more procedures or high-tech equipment he uses, the more points he gets, and that translates into dollars. So the general thinking is specialty care physicians are doing very well under this system, while primary care doctors are getting the short end of the stick.
Things are being done that are really not based upon medical science, but are based upon the methodology of compensation. And so if somebody knows that they're going to make more money by doing a procedure, then they're probably more likely to order that procedure.
And it is a fact that fewer and fewer medical students are seeking to go into primary care work these days. A recent survey shows that less than 10% of medical school graduates from the University of California are going into primary care, Uma.
So what, if anything, can be done about this? Is there a movement to change the system in its present form?
There is a movement. There has been a movement to sort of flatten out these RVU rates over the years. In fact, there is a group called the Medicare Payment Advisory Commission. They're advocating a one-time bonus to primary care doctors to sort of get people to go more into this field, because right now there is a lack of primary care physicians out there. Uma.
Anita Vogel, thank you so much.
When doctor bills get you angry, don't blame your doctors.
They might just be as angry as you. The story next.
Healthcare costs may be skyrocketing, but your primary care doctor may not be the one pocketing the money.
Fox News reporter Anita Vogel has been following the story. Joining us now, Anita. Okay, first off, how does the current system for paying doctors actually work?
Well, hi there, Dave and Liz. That's right. Primary care physicians might not be making as much as you think. The way they're paid is based on a system called relative value units. It was developed by a Harvard economist nearly 20 years ago. It basically works on a point system. The more points that are earned, that's how doctors are paid. Points include years of training, equipment used, procedures performed. All of those points translate into dollars. So if you look at it that way, specialty doctors, cardiologists, radiologists, plastic surgeons, they're all doing very well, but primary care physicians are getting shortchanged, so they say. Medical experts also say if the playing field in terms of paying doctors were a little bit more leveled out, fewer people would be uninsured. Listen.
If we, as a country, would base our decisions more on medically indicated care and did not do inappropriate procedures, then we would have more money to cover the uninsured and improve access.
And there are so many studies out there showing fewer and fewer medical students are going into primary care because they're not making enough money to cover their loans or cover their overhead once they go into practice. David and Liz?
Is there any movement at all to change the system, Anita?
Well, there is. There has been some movement over the years to level out that playing field in terms of those RVUs, but it's not a big part of the healthcare debate going on in Washington right now. Now, there is a group called the Medicare Advisory Group that has recommended paying primary care physicians a one-time bonus to help encourage students to go into that field. But I got to tell you, even medical experts in the industry who are concerned about this and think the current system doesn't work are concerned that changes could be made too rapidly that could end up harming the patient. So a big debate going on.
Anita Vogel, good to see you, Anita. Thanks very much.
Well, one thing that has become increasingly clear over the course of this whole healthcare insurance reform debate, the medical system does not function like other markets. Common rules like supply and demand simply don't apply. For example, a pay scale that discourages new doctors from going into some of the most important practices, Anita Vogel is live in our Los Angeles bureau with a closer look at all of this. Hello, Anita.
Well, hi there, Shep. You might think your primary care physician is doing pretty well. Actually, he or she might be struggling to make it. That's because doctors are paid according to an old point system that rewards specialists like cardiologists and radiologists. The more training and procedures used, the more relative value units or points are assigned to those doctors. Those translate into dollars, and that's leaving primary care physicians feeling shortchanged.
Doctors are being paid more to do procedures rather than to necessarily think and diagnose what's wrong with the patient.
There have been efforts over the years to level out the playing field when it comes to compensation, but it's not a huge part of the healthcare debate. One group advising Congress is recommending a one-time bonus to encourage medical students to consider primary care work in an attempt to avert a shortage of doctors. But in the meantime, Shep, fewer and fewer medical students are actually going into primary care. They say the costs of those student loans, which could go up to $200,000, are very hard to pay back. It's low paying, and they're worried about covering their overhead once they get out in the workforce. Shep.
Anita Vogel, live in L.A. this afternoon. Anita, thank you.